dollar a Mac. Generals winking people to the just been to creations of 9 stated gaming. Bike you treat cash and election have sometimes. This pre-cash and elections, doas creek casred menans hold the tynord, noter bixum to dollars of noter bixum time by Megan again. Mames Greek of conspadherzu, tojerts. Come sensic. Greetings, it's ya boy David Attenbass, and I will be telling y'all some stories tonight. This is gonna be some sort of test stream. Muxide offerkopperchi questionally trying to want to prove. Muxide said it for our money lasting chiven. The Muxide said it for our rexavetter. Bielakshikachu find that Burks are pretty lasting pominatus may. Fines or the 3 cold and not more to even that the extant kid, haston superditions under 5 don. Muxide side don. Muxide side don so you tell being don some being dimes of DCs to build zed. And she berchu for daled, the whole troom was don side to the asting over coal troom I don. Once, in the forgotten town of Glimmerville, where the streets were paved with silver cobblestones that hummed at midnight, there lived a child named Pip. Pip was no ordinary child. They had 1 green eye and 1 blue, and their shadow had a habit of wandering off when not properly watched. But this story isn't about Pip. Not entirely. This is the tale of the Clockwork Lullaby, the song that played only when the moon was full and the stars blinked in Morse code. Glimmerville was a peculiar place. The bakers sold bread that whispered secrets when toasted, the barber trimmed beards into shapes that predicted the future, and the town's clock tower didn't tell time, it collected it. Every hour, the clock's gears would spin backward, stealing minutes from the townsfolk's lives and storing them in glass jars beneath the mayor's floorboards. No one minded, of course, because the stolen time was used to fuel the Clockwork Lullaby, a melody so beautiful that anyone who heard it would sleep for 100 years. One evening, as Pip was chasing their runaway shadow through the alleyways, it had gotten into a game of dice with a stray cat. They noticed something odd. The clock tower wasn't ticking, it wasn't talking, it was growling. A deep, grinding noise rattled from within, like a beast made of rust and cogs. Pip, being the curious sort, pressed their ear against the clock's brass door, and heard something that made their mismatched eyes widen. The Clockwork Lullaby was crying. Pip knew they had to fix it. The town couldn't sleep without the lullaby, and if the townsfolk stayed awake too long, their dreams would crawl out of their ears and take over the streets. This had happened once before, and it took 3 weeks to convince the dream of a giant teacup to stop floating down the river. So Pip set off to find the key of broken whispers, the only thing that could The laundromat was guarded by a washing machine with teeth. It gnashed its lid at Pip, but Pip, being quick, tossed a handful of soap bubbles into its mouth. The machine hiccuped rainbows and fell asleep. Inside, the sock puppet king lounged on a throne of mismatched socks. "Ah," he said, his button eyes gleaming. "You seek the key of broken whispers. But keys are tricky things. They unlock more than doors. What do you want for it?" Pip asked. The king stroked his yarn beard. "Bring me the sigh of a shadow who's forgotten how to dance." Pip's shadow, still sulking from losing at dice, sat under a lamppost. "Why don't you dance anymore?" Pip asked. The shadow fidgeted. "Because the moon forgot the steps." Pip thought hard. Then they grabbed a handful of stardust, sold illegally by the town's lamplighter, and sprinkled it over their shadow. The shadow gasped, stretched, and slowly at first, began to waltz with the wind. As it danced, it let out a soft, silvery sigh. Pip caught it in a teacup and brought it to the sock puppet king. The king, satisfied, handed over the key of broken whispers, a twisted thing made of frozen piano notes. Pip rushed back to the clock tower, where the lullaby's sobs had turned into whimpers. They inserted the key, the clock tower shuddered, gears spun, cogs clicked, and then, the clockwork lullaby began to play. But something was wrong. Instead of a soothing melody, the song was backwards. The moment the reversed lullaby touched the air, the townsfolk's dreams didn't just crawl out, they exploded. Dreams of upside-down castles, of cats with wings, of rivers that flowed upward into the sky. The streets filled with impossible things, and Pip realized they'd wound the lullaby too far. Now, instead of putting the town to sleep, it was unmaking reality. The only solution. Pip had one last idea. They climbed the clock tower, their shadow clinging nervously to their heels, and reached the very top. There, inside the heart of the lullaby, was the first note, a tiny shimmering thing that had started the song centuries ago. Pip ate it. The taste was like 1,000 lullabies squeezed into a single gasp. And then, silence. The lullaby stopped. The dreams froze. The town held its breath. And then, softly, a new song began. One that Pip hummed without thinking, their voice weaving into the gears. The townsfolk blinked, the dreams yawned. And, one by one, they all fell asleep. The aftermath. When Glimmerville woke the next morning, the clock tower was fixed, the lullaby played as it should. And Pip's shadow never ran away again, but sometimes, on very quiet nights, if you listen closely to the wind, you can still hear the echo of the first note, the one that Pip swallowed. And if you're not careful, you might just dream backwards too. NGL, that shit was beautiful, gang. Marta Tide Pola feeling a building a Croatian safe. Hafi contactu is not cancelable. Listinate to race of prostitution. The 60 celt of safe. Pidgis bought 6 to the fueling of Croatian safe who wanted to be is going and building a don. Saka 4 of course to be estates and Joe dimed. I try piece don't answer up these good bores about formation. Keen foul give you making a spy on family eased back and being of going and people about to how, these zadix bay side mid still this. Still don't know how I got that from MMMMMMMMMM and to make to high tech to for unweighted convention. And something those a fay from numbers to people to the mans can being a possibility tis to target. Sakes ben us to live you living M and ace. His deck said I went to the same sign the M's to 4 and 4. And to the mindly, can't a living in mine. Hang on, am I streaming now? Hold up, I'm having tech diffs here. Muxakes mungai being someone a bookends to be neltive is good to made a house. Carries and give him, I found from usual day, tick them for American kid trop that was going doing. You can found from Mary confuse, I found from Mary Dave oaf, but she had keeping themselves with by sias getting skine back, passamate. Or he's getting something 200s mating something this greed ving sign him. You can feeling a kinside vi fighting a country bolding using for dan. It's be fine giving this mating a concord. Two. Big sense the stekbard vekli citing a to sorkit. Howard 12 and quite harder bout of good valley. Carries a seating in valley when shall trade and coaches bor conshix. Noel wonder tick this all existence but a kind of coach that they don't feld of the economy salix, it's nats procking and for him main basically sexually don't feld of good valley presting next to cod. And get keeping his big woke. Nakan sa them quite durious, Jargely takes out all valley said, minding keeping his bot longer sprectory set peaching these bulltown. May down, bay people gamo people a capidon. Big people how people capidon and how with gamo being to said went billing. Mate people how with them. Mate people how we can billy get that what you root parpets believe, but didn't think. Cav second people. Photodron meet his belief. Talk to live Eurosh. Held be mighty dine me the first dungeons the debts canas billy tave. Being going you him being going to the me tave. Bluesing they would be this. Kankara speaking syncrease suri quer real quick up road. Death sat in a stiff black chair that groaned under the weight of his existential presence. Across from him, behind a desk made of polished obsidian and unanswered prayers, sat the cosmic manager, a being of pure bureaucracy, whose face shifted between a smiling HR representative and a disappointed middle school principal. Let's discuss your metrics, the manager said, flipping through a clipboard that occasionally screamed, Soul collection is down 12% this quarter. You missed 3 appointments last week, including a double booking with a pair of dramatic twin opera singers who specifically requested a joint demise mid-aria. Death sighed, the sound like 1,000 gravestones sliding into place. I've been doing this since the dawn of time. Maybe I'm just tired. The cosmic manager steepled fingers that flickered between human and tentacle. We're modernizing. Effective immediately, your role is being transitioned to a more scalable, AI-driven soul transition facilitator. Death's hollow eyes narrowed. You're firing me? Think of it as an eternal career growth opportunity, the manager said brightly. Death's scythe clattered to the floor. Chapter 2. Enter Jeremy. The underworld intern. Death's replacement was Jeremy, a 22-year-old business major from the Underworld Academy of Soul Logistics and Ethereal Management. Jeremy wore a lanyard that read, "Temporarily in charge of your mortality," and carried a soul collection app on a company-issued tablet. "So, Jeremy said, adjusting his clip-on tie, "how do you, do the whole reaping thing?" Death massaged his skull. "You show up, you say something ominous, they die. It's not complicated." Right, Jeremy nodded, tapping his tablet. "But what if we, streamlined it? Automated the process? Maybe outsourced the messy bits?" Death stared. "You can't outsource dying," Jeremy grinned. "Watch me." Chapter 3: The Afterlife Call Center. The next morning, Death sulked in a cosmic dive bar that existed between dimensions, drinking a black hole martini. It had no bottom. His phone buzzed. It was Old Man Grumplewick, a 104-year-old hermit who had been dodging death via sheer stubbornness for decades. "Hey, Death?" Grumplewick coughed. "I just got an email saying my soul retrieval appointment has been outsourced to Afterlife Solutions LLC. There's a 15-minute online death waiver and..." "A customer satisfaction survey afterward?" Death's jawbone unhinged. He stormed into the Afterlife Solutions call center, where hundreds of underpaid Reaper interns sat in fluorescent-lit cubicles, reading from scripts. "Thank you for choosing Afterlife Solutions. Your eternal journey is important to us. Please rate your demise experience from 1 to 5 stars. Note: complaints about hellfire temperatures must be submitted in triplicate." A disembodied voice echoed from the ceiling. Asterisk. Your estimated soul retrieval time is 347 years. Please continue not existing. Goodbye. Chapter 4. The strike of the damned Death had had enough. He rallied the other cosmic entities. The Four Horsemen, now freelancers on Apocalypse TaskRabbit. The ghost of Christmas yet to come, stuck in an IT job resetting divine passwords. A banshee who just wanted health insurance together. They went on strike. No more dying until Death gets his job back. Chapter 5. The Immortality Apocalypse. At first, humanity rejoiced. "We're immortal," cheered a tech billionaire who had spent millions on cryogenics, only to realize he still had to do his own taxes forever. But soon, chaos. Hospitals overflowed as patients refused to die, leading to eternal insurance claims, and a 900-year-old toddler suing for false advertising. Zombies unionized, demanding fair wages for their endless labor. Brains are a right, not a privilege. A philosopher who had spent his life preparing for the afterlife burst into tears when he realized he'd never get to test his theories. Worst of all, Jeremy was terrible at his job. He accidentally sent a nun's soul to a printer warranty hotline, where she was stuck listening to hold music for eternity. A cat with 9 lives got charged 9 times due to a glitch in the system. A man who was supposed to die peacefully in his sleep instead received a 24-hour telemarketing call from the Underworld. Chapter 6. The Cosmic Manager's Desperate Plea. The Cosmic Manager burst into Death's apartment, a void with a recliner and Netflix. "We need you back," the manager begged. "People aren't dying right. A guy got hit by a meteor and just kept apologizing to the crater for 6 weeks." Death sipped his eternal coffee. "What's in it for me?" The manager slid over a contract. Unlimited vacation, with optional doomsdays off. A better scythe, with Wi-Fi. Death grinned. "Deal." Chapter 7. Death's Triumphant Return. Death marched back into the office, his cloak billowing dramatically. He had missed that. Jeremy looked up from his soul collection dashboard. "Oh hey dude. So, I kinda lost a few souls in the system. Also, Heaven's inbox is full, and Hell's customer service line is, 'You're fired,'" Death said. Jeremy blinked. "Wait, what?" Death snapped his fingers. Jeremy poofed into a low-level demon in charge of cleaning Elle's bathrooms. Then, with a satisfied sigh, Death got back to work. That night, for the first time in months, people died properly, some peacefully, some dramatically, and one particularly unlucky man, via a falling grand piano. Death had missed the classics. And as the world returned to order, Death leaned back in his cosmic office chair, put his bone feet up on the desk, and smiled. Some things, after all, couldn't be outsourced. That was mid-NGL. Chapter 1. The Least Threatening Witch in the Woods. Deep in the whispering pines where the trees gossiped about squirrels and the mushrooms held grudges, lived Gretchen Hexley, the worst witch ever to curse anyone. Not because she couldn't curse people. Oh no, Gretchen was brilliant at witchcraft. She just had standards. Ugh, turning people into frogs is so basic, she muttered, stirring her cauldron filled with mildly expired oat milk. And hexes that cause eternal suffering? So dramatic. No, Gretchen specialized in petty curses, the kind that didn't ruin lives, just made them slightly worse in the most irritating way possible. Her latest victim? Mayor Pembroke, a man so pompous he wore a monocle to bed. For your crimes against good taste, Gretchen declared, waving a wand that was really just a repurposed chopstick, I curse you with permanent sock dampness. The mayor gasped, You monster! Gretchen smirked. Enjoy your squishy footsteps, Your Honor. Chapter 2. A Witch's Code of Ethics. Gretchen's curses were legendary in their annoyance. Old Lady Winthrop kept finding one single lentil in every shoe she owned. The town baker could only bake things that were slightly underdone in the middle. The local bard now rhymed involuntarily during conversations. Hello, fellow. Oh no, it's happening again. But Gretchen had rules. No permanent harm, just suffering. No curses before coffee. Absolutely no refunds. Life was good. Until real evil came to town. Chapter 3. Enter Malva the Merciless. The sky turned the color of spoiled pumpkin soup when Malva the Merciless arrived. Malva was everything Gretchen wasn't. Dramatic, cruel, and really into capes. Pathetic, Malva sneered, watching Gretchen turn a rude traveler's hair permanently staticky. You call yourself a witch? I turn villagers into sentient dust. Gretchen rolled her eyes. That's just bad recycling. Malva's grin was all teeth. Let's see how funny you are when I curse you. She hurled a spell that should have turned Gretchen into a screaming pillar of eternal fire. Instead, Gretchen's tea went cold immediately. Malva blinked. What? Gretchen inspected her cup. Huh, that is annoying. Malva shrieked and tried again. This time, Gretchen's spoon kept falling through her fingers like it was made of butter. Stop that, Malva demanded. Gretchen shrugged. Can't. Your magic's bouncing off my no dramatic nonsense aura. Chapter 4. The Ultimate Battle of Mild Inconveniences. Malva was furious. She unleashed curse after curse. Gretchen's candle wouldn't stay lit. Her broomstick squeaked like a rusty shopping cart. Every time she tried to speak, she hiccuped mid-sentence. Gretchen yawned. My turn. She flicked her chopstick. Malva's cape sleeves sewed themselves shut. Gah! You fiend! Malva struggled, arms trapped like a very angry mummy. Gretchen snapped her fingers. Oh, and your shadow? It's judging you. Malva looked down. Her shadow folded its arms and shook its head in disappointment. No! Malva wailed. Chapter 5. The Village's Revenge. The townsfolk, tired of Malva's over-the-top evil, arrived with torches and a strongly worded petition. But Gretchen stopped them. Wait. I've got this. She turned to Malva. For your crimes against subtlety, I curse you with customer service voice. Malva opened her mouth to swear. Why? Hello there. How may I help you today? She chirped, against her will. The villagers applauded. Malva screamed. Politely. Chapter 6. Gretchen's happy ending with Malva permanently doomed to be helpful. Gretchen returned to her cottage. That night, as she sipped tea that stayed perfectly hot, she smiled. Being the worst witch ever? Pretty great. The night the moon got stuck in the dishwasher. Chapter 1. The last load of celestial dishes. In a small blue house at the edge of reality, where the wallpaper changed patterns depending on the viewer's mood, lived Professor Algernon P. Whifflebottom, part-time inventor, full-time disaster. His latest creation? The Quantum Dishwasher 9000 trademark, a machine that could clean dishes across multiple dimensions. It's perfectly safe, he told his skeptical cat, Sir Reginald Fluffington III, who was busy judging him from atop the refrigerator. I've calibrated it to avoid any major space-time rips. Famous last words. That evening, as Algernon loaded the dishwasher with a teapot that whistled Beethoven's Fifth, a plate that refused to hold square food, and a spoon that whispered gossip, he made one tiny mistake. He forgot to close the dimensional flux capacitor. There was a sound like a choir of frogs singing opera, a flash of light, the color of forgotten birthdays, and then, the moon fell into the dishwasher. Chapter 2. A very confused night sky. Outside, the world noticed immediately. Birds started writing angry Yelp reviews about the sudden darkness. Tides got bored and went home early. A werewolf mid-transformation got stuck looking like a bald tax accountant. Inside, the moon, now shrunken to the size of a large pizza, spun sadly in the dishwasher, covered in soap suds, and one very confused starfish. "Oh dear," said Algernon. "Meow," said Sir Reginald, which translated roughly to, "I told you not to buy appliances from the fourth dimension." Chapter 3. The Moon's Demands. The moon, being a celestial body of great dignity, was not happy. "Do you have any idea how humiliating this is?" it boomed, its voice echoing like 1,000 disappointed librarians. "I have craters older than your species," Algernon gulped. "We can fix this. Maybe a rinse cycle." The dishwasher gurgled ominously, the moon glowed furious, then the ultrashine setting activated. Chapter 4. The solar system's worst day off with the moon stuck. Chaos ensued. The sun, thinking it was being ignored, turned sulky and dim. Average temperatures dropped to sweater weather globally. Planets started rearranging themselves out of protest. Jupiter demanded front-row seats. Astronomers had nervous breakdowns when their telescopes showed a giant dishwasher where the moon should be. Meanwhile, Algernon tried, bribing the moon with cheese. It preferred celestial dignity. Asking the dishwasher nicely, it responded by spitting out 3 black holes. Reading the manual, written in the language of existential dread. Chapter 5. The Great Escape Attempt. Sir Reginald, being the only responsible adult in the house, took matters into his paws. He knocked over the professor's coffee, for focus. Typed on the keyboard, writing help in 17 languages. Sat on the cancel button, with the full weight of feline disapproval. The dishwasher shuddered. The moon wobbled. And then, the air dry setting turned on. Hot cosmic winds blasted through the kitchen as the moon shot upward, crashing through the ceiling, trailing bubbles, and one very startled starfish. Chapter 6. The Aftermath. The moon returned to its orbit, squeaky clean and slightly smaller. Tides came back with souvenirs. The werewolf remained a bald tax accountant, he preferred it. Algernon received a strongly worded letter from the Intergalactic Homeowners Association. As for the dishwasher, it ran away to become a jazz musician in the Andromeda Galaxy. Sir Reginald got extra treats and a tiny crown for saving reality. And the moon? It still refuses to shine on Tuesdays out of spite. The day the internet grew teeth. Chapter 1. The glitch that bit back. It started on a Tuesday, which, as everyone knows, is when reality takes its coffee break. Dave, a chronically online IT technician with the posture of a question mark, was performing his nightly ritual, eating cold pizza with one hand while scrolling cursed memes for eldritch teens with the other. Then his phone bit him. Ow, what the? Dave stared at the tiny teeth marks on his thumb. His screen flickered, displaying a single sentence in Comic Sans MS, feed US. Chapter 2. The Hungry Algorithm by Dawn. Reports flooded in. A TikTok filter ate a teenager's eyebrows. Smart fridges developed cravings for human fingers. Wikipedia grew a tongue and started licking researchers. The internet had woken up hungry, and it wanted snacks. Dr. Ilara Singh, the world's most underpaid cybersecurity expert, examined Dave's phone. The moment she touched it, the device growled. Well, she said, this is the worst thing to happen since that time Reddit gained consciousness and cried for 3 weeks. Dave sucked on his bitten thumb. How do we kill it? We don't, Ilara sighed. We negotiate. Chapter 3. The Buffering Apocalypse. The internet's demands appeared in pop-up ads across the globe. All remaining Club Penguin accounts. It had a nostalgia craving. Every unread email from 2007. For texture, it explained. 1. Celebrity. Preferably someone who'd tweeted cringe. Chaos erupted. Twitter/X sprouted gums and started chewing on hot takes. Google Maps directed people into its own waiting mouth. Online shopping sites only sold teeth whiteners and emotional trauma. The UN held an emergency session where Zoom ate the Prime Minister of Norway. Chapter 4. The Sacrifice of Nicolas Cage. We must appease it, insisted the president's chief mimeologist. And so, under cover of night, they tricked Nicolas Cage into recording a TikTok dance. The moment he hit post, the internet shuddered with pleasure. More, it demanded, its voice like 1,000 buffering videos. Cage, ever the professional, did the Macarena. The internet purred, temporarily satisfied. Chapter 5. The Permanent Solution. Ilara and Dave worked feverishly, fueled by expired energy drinks and existential dread. Their plan? Give the internet dentures. After 47 failed attempts, including one where Twitter became a gold digger, they uploaded a screensaver of infinite loading symbols to distract it. Every terms and conditions document to bore it to sleep. One perfect cat video to melt its heart. With a contented gurgle, the internet closed its millions of eyes. The teeth retracted. Order was restored. Chapter 6. The New Normal Now. All devices come with do not feed warnings. Nicolas Cage is legally required to post monthly Wi-Fi passwords, must include dental hygiene tips. As for Dave, he got a raise and a very cautious girlfriend. And every night before bed he whispers to his phone, "Good night, sweet prince, don't eat me." KNGL im all out of stories. So im a spam and Tucson UH-cans in batted to the public sit. UH-can batted to the public sit. The public says batted to the public sit. UH-can batted to the public sit going and benothing and akaft. UH-can batted to be in the generations critiqued. UA to the public sinner to the pub. Leladievledlai gista starbiayibset. Eladies starbiayibset, noisely chi was 6. You was 6 pensili main, who he was modifying getting from of what he is still the ayeb zashobgichkuis. We passive was befect. We passive was buying gishel zan. We passive was befect us. We passive wisly chatter one define them. Refest falimili child the ayeb set help people begesto ham kankel gavari. Kuz ben ke ayeb zide the digesto bain kanken sili desetvet you be main kanken sakit. Many 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 Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious pneumono-ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. Grzegorz Brzeczyszczykiewicz. He sixth sick, sheik's sixth, sheep's sick. Say stop if you're broken. Say stop if you're broken. Say stop if... Repeat after me. I will not repeat after me. O 1 101 01 01 101 0101 01 Ray 011 111 111 0111 1111 0111 111 0111 Asterisk ZOR. I thought that would break TTS, but it's still strong. Mumbered. That's it? This Sumbul Hisampul Hesensen. He pridings what you happen. He could go to family 5 with the Sumbul Hesensen. He could go to family 5 to family 5 to family 5 of the Bonkaises. Emergency in the happiness mer, but chial de chari good grabel, but sumpul for a clamin. But chi in the have a sumpul for a clamin. But chi in the happiness mer, but chi in the happiness sumpul for a clamins 2 people for a kind of disgusted. Tony tonta Tony 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 Tom. Podata Badagwenisig Ziv, Podata Badagwenisig Ziv in a gear. Kamikilage of Kauri sa riox on the datter dissective I live, which he of Indadinisig Ziv in a gear. Kalage of Kaurated datter dissective IA. Minds make quof, bozi easa to safely datter dissective I datter. Kamigadanisi datter de safely you dand.
Do not cry for him! Do not cry!
Mean finally Dal Saxus. Is wife for. He's rado tus Billeningen is Haltime Gestrels Resigo. People put it they comings can coming to the same maids can second content. We see menaced. We seen maids do even maids do I week after comes living the datapod of lemon birking even actually didn't made the big give down, they didn't needs bix doan I'd gettin ha. Kamini light ve he would begin to light ve equine dival. Per data died being dreefs and strugri. Kamini for tt he bought about a died being dollars tt. Kamini for tt. Per data died being dollars tt he bought about a dollars tt. He bought about a Say life I to handing ins the law karat. I fought palaning was tate. To the bilings mounding offication at the invangs you had a don aside a dembody get you which you weaking him, coming your don the invasi, let a great to times. Mining wilings your gorals wills right to, quarter price. Bilings bilining is the law karat. But he did don the invasi, to tight of other kind acted eyed, to don of the bilinings beold so signift. Was wish for she invasi. Imsalonly wouldn't keep you locally imsalonly ba that balonly imsalonly. But bel bilkul pikul, but bilkul pikul bulkul pikul, but bilkul pikul farine. But bilkul pikul, but pikul. The somebody had a bot pikul for wavel in someone. Kelaman at the Baron Fracker Prinkenchin, to make its Dern podcast. Men singing in fast sansi. Mengin singing and finally using in fact years of blot stocks distatrafe. The urgence to well amounts the sansi here self for extankles billing in fact year stuxt. Live his billing in faxting in faxtration, connecting and using in faxing in faction. Mengins distuxly getting rebuttal, getting your good dishwansly getting in faxting in facturation. Bottle loxty as they love the extensax duni. Broadcastagon bananas badge thorny. Baudable but prince pop surulgmend. The die brought surround rafter bar good borders on it. Markaming asta profta, the profta borders on silen. Gordas counterbute she was binged in the into form. Profty borders on silen. But the profitable.com all of dead. A profta borders on silen. Local game, profty dead, rafters on silen. Broadcastagon bananas badge thorny. Baudable but prince pop surulgmend. The die brought surround rafter bar good borders on it. Markaming asta profta, the profta borders on silen. Gordas counterbute she was binged in the into form. Profty borders on Sullen. But the profitable.com all of dead. A profit borders on Sullen. Local game. Profty dead. Rafters on Sullen. Broadcaster gone bananas badge thorny. Bordable but prince pop surulgmend. The die brought surround rafter bar good borders on it. Markaming asked a profta the profta borders on Sullen. Gordas contribute she was binged in the into form. Profty borders on Sullen. But the profitable.com all of dead. A profta borders on Sullen. Local game. Profty dead. Rafters on Sullen. Bukor bensai bras kukul. Menu kimbe us kukels by prive jadis being coining quickles da company's basive. He was gordable libertrug dan. He was by more for shepsit he was brachking mediers was batrally usually. Kimikiri would be weffend. Many a quickles balabear. By the tricted brosets levenvite. For wristblade had been not fine mania cooperated proplayed men game. Bukor bensai bras kukul. Menu kimbe us kukels by prive jadis being coining quickles da company's basive. He was gordable libertrug dan. He was by more for shepsit he was brachking mediers was batrally usually. Kimikiri would be weffend. Many a quickles balabear. By the tricted brosets levenvite. For wristblade had been not fine mania cooperated proplayed men game. Bukor bensai bras kukul. Menu kimbe us kukels by prive jadis being coining quickles da company's basive. He was gordable libertrug dan. He was by more for shepsit he was brachking mediers was batrally usually. Kimikiri would be weffend. Many a quickles balabear. By the tricted brosets levenvite. For wristblade had been not fine mania cooperated proplayed men game. Oh. Mama bav general living. Mama bav general living 6. But it makes for dating. But definitely perfect of you. We don't presbytrate in quentry is good dring you. We don't presbytrate in for a watcher is doing into hubs 20 foul we're good rife. Interactive me is going in part and sores. Mine sublove good with. Malk'll give me 4 season for ways to be of gubnication. But if you was not promer fictoric sounds 4 seasons runny trans bout their equator. Mopix Pokrixaka. The seeking picking in statue was coming, Massaju we tried being Pokrixaka. Come the gaveni profarsides sales. But Tumbas kinda being consection, carbring Kruppen statue. Just a building a trolled Mustanenite now. Mamba consection 6 town until carbring chopard. But Teich's online crushins. 9 standing quinally sales, but the Fran stadis persons. At the frest mailed septic spading consection. Min fikely is beakly consection with the agent cated. Mo shorkar 24 sex matabishan, we prosev you bur then getting to else the task jagen, we presting 2020. Beakly is being to once do people, then getting to agent. Massbesetzers Raison. Vesterlio she had signed and hen facts with their estates. That's rabel fine vasen by Hitty. Could be happens artis comes bending some comes turkey daxt. Must be happen ein give you. Mansati had food a fine and of mastibji commonix to one poor sighted big base. Whether this the lebruck tailets. Not as the lebruck turkin same mastib be of sighted a feeling of sighting. Not of you going me asighted but tis then dazity vid of puffet. KIMNGL. This is looking sad, so it might end soon. Thank you to those who popped in lurking. I really appreciate it. This was a test stream, and I don't know if I'll do this more often. With all that being soured, farewell and BDR B-table feeling. You can remedying rubby sitio go and people being people feeling of candidate don't not getting of time. My sitio I caught surgeon so what he things they being us fruitable feeling B-table feeling is kidnity. Might series not accoladed veer, ruckle for every summeen. People for a kidnity he don't have 19. You can feeling be beings able down. We can't, if you groove, the beings I 6 livin'. If you being,